Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I offer an update on the case of Andrew Tate? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anyone in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoy this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of Andrew Tate, then move to my analysis. Emory Andrew Tate III was born in Washington, D.C. on December 14, 1986. He went by the name Andrew. His father was a chess master, and his mother was a catering assistant. Andrew has a brother named Tristan. The family moved to Illinois and then to Indiana. Andrew's parents divorced. He and his brother Tristan moved with their mother to Luton, England. This was his mother's hometown. Andrew's father taught him chess. Andrew started competing against adults in chess tournaments when he was only 5 years old. His father continued to stay connected to Andrew through the game of chess when Andrew was in England. In 1993, Andrew's father told a newspaper in Indiana that he was in a position to turn Andrew into the next Bobby Fischer, but chess players didn't really make enough money for that. He wanted Andrew to pursue other interests. Andrew may have been a good chess player, but I'd be very surprised if he could have ever approached the performance level of Bobby Fischer. Many proud parents of chess players make that assertion about their children. They can be the next Bobby Fischer. This is like a parent seeing their son wearing a green jacket and saying they can be the next George Patton, or hearing their daughter read a speech in an unintelligible manner and saying she can be the next Kamala Harris. Andrew ultimately gave up chess. He became interested in boxing instead. He enjoyed success as a light heavyweight fighter before briefly getting involved in mixed martial arts. He then retired from combat sports. In 2016, Andrew was featured on the 17th season of Big Brother in the United Kingdom. He was captured on camera hitting a woman with a belt, which resulted in him being kicked off of the show just 2 weeks in. Andrew and the woman in the video would later say that their actions were part of consensual sex. This incident made Andrew popular with a number of people, including those who identify as involuntary celibates, or incels. Andrew had produced a litany of controversial posts on social media, some of which involved racial and homophobic slurs. He also made a number of misogynistic comments. His new fan base found these posts during the Big Brother incident and made Andrew some type of anti-hero. Andrew appeared to embrace his newfound infamy and continued engaging in controversial behavior. Andrew claimed that depression was not real. He continued to make offensive statements about women. Many of the statements aligned with the incel ideology. He told stories that involved him physically harming women, like accidentally breaking a woman's jaw. And he started associating with well-known conspiracy theorists, including Alex Jones. It appears as though Andrew was eager to cash in on his new notoriety. He established a business he referred to as Hustlers University, where he sold an online marketing program claiming that he could help people achieve high-income skill development. The program cost $49.99 a month. It was shut down in 2021 after being compared to a pyramid scheme. Andrew also had a webcam model business that he ran with his brother Tristan. He claimed to have earned millions of dollars running this business, which he referred to as a total scam. So we see that Andrew appears to have some insight. He recognized that his business dealings were unethical. Andrew had incredible, albeit short-lived, success on social media. He racked up billions of views before many of these social media platforms banned him for bad behavior, like promoting misinformation and hate speech. Through his online marketing program, he encouraged his followers to repost his content. This was a major contributor to his social media popularity. In 2017, Andrew moved to Romania. At this time, he was under investigation for various offenses related to sex. He stated that 40% of the reason he moved was because he thought that the authorities in Romania would be less likely to investigate those cases. On April 11, 2022, the police raided Andrew Tate's mansion in Romania, as well as another property under his control. They found 2 women who claimed that they had been held against their will. This led to Andrew being investigated for human trafficking and other offenses. Andrew did not let his legal problems slow down his offensive statements and questionable business operations. By July of 2022, Andrew Tate was searched more times on the internet than the terms COVID-19 or Donald Trump. After Elon Musk purchased Twitter, Andrew Tate saw his ban lifted. This set up an online confrontation in December of 2022 between Andrew and a young climate activist named Grande Thunberg. She had a reputation for massively oversimplifying complex issues. Andrew posted a tweet talking about how he had 33 cars, many of which had large gasoline engines, so they put out a lot of emissions. He asked Greta to supply her email address so he could send her a list of his vehicles. Greta responded with a tweet containing a fictitious email address, which implied that Andrew suffered from an undersized genital situation. Andrew should have anticipated a crude response using the same skills that allowed him to anticipate chess moves, but apparently he was taken off guard. Instead of replying in a clever fashion, he replied with a bizarre video talking about how Greta had been programmed by the Matrix. The next day, December 29, 2022, 5 properties under Andrew's control were raided by the authorities in Romania. Andrew, his brother Tristan, and 2 other people were arrested. Romanian authorities said that the suspects were involved with human trafficking. A rumor started suggesting that a pizza box featured in one of Andrew's tweets gave away his location. This was during his discussion with Greta, but the authorities deny that claim. The pizza box was not responsible for Andrew's downfall. At the time making this video, Andrew is being detained in Romania. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1, Andrew has a relatively large group of loyal followers who use social media to promote him, harass his detractors, and spread misinformation. The vast majority of his followers are young men. These men fall into several groups, including conspiracy theorists and incels. Within hours of Andrew's arrest, his followers flooded both Twitter and TikTok. They falsely claimed that Andrew had been set free and promoted a conspiracy theory suggesting that he had been framed. Andrew has been able to utilize his followers very effectively to gain attention on social media. They helped him to achieve notoriety, and now they continue to serve him. Which brings me to item number 2. It's curious to compare Andrew's beliefs with his followers' behavior. Andrew promotes the idea of being physically dominant, wealthy, tough, and finding an easy road to success that does not involve healthy social interaction. Yet many of his followers are submissive, financially challenged, cowardly, and they work very hard posting nonsense to support Andrew. They're not really living up to any of his messages. Rather, they are simply handing him money and following his orders. He is telling people to detest those who are non-assertive, while using non-assertive people to do his bidding. Andrew has been able to organize people who are socially awkward into his own private social media army. Item number 3. Andrew has a particular appeal to conspiracy theorists, mostly those on the far right. Many of these people viewed Donald Trump as someone who would expose all of the evil conspirators. They believed that Donald would put various Democrats in prison for a number of alleged offenses. This is part of the QAnon conspiracy theory. They also supported the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, which is closely related. Now it appears as though Andrew has taken Donald Trump's place. His followers look to Andrew to wipe out liberal ideology and restore men to a place of power, glory, and dominance. Item number 4. Andrew has found a way to connect with people who feel disenfranchised, people who believe that they have been cut off by society or forgotten by society. Many of these people blame women for their problems. For example, they might blame feminism for the sense that they have lost power as men. Others may have specific women in mind, like those who romantically rejected them at some point during their lives. These women have come to represent all women in their minds. In this way, as I mentioned, Andrew has appealed to both conspiracy theorists and incels. Some of his followers are in both categories at the same time. I don't think that Andrew created this mindset. Rather, he revealed and manipulated those who already had it. He has exposed their deepest desires and the strength of their resolve. Andrew became a physical manifestation for their fantasies. They simultaneously want to be like him and recognize that they can never be like him. These people live vicariously through Andrew's adventures, controversies, and assertions. They view him as an anti-hero who will change the world to their way of thinking. Andrew normalizes their antisocial beliefs. He activates their narcissistic characteristics like grandiosity, envy, and their sense of entitlement. He's telling them that their worst characteristics are more than just acceptable. They are redeeming and critical to save the world from liberal ideology. This is in line with the idea of being lazy. Andrew's message essentially indicates that his followers don't have to change. They can simply embrace maladaptive beliefs, and things will work out. Andrew is offering them an easy way out, or at least that's what he wants them to believe. Item number 5. Does Andrew really believe what he's saying, or is this all simply a strategy to obtain wealth and notoriety? I think that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Andrew appears to be narcissistic, and he promotes several offensive beliefs, but he exaggerates his maladaptive characteristics in order to accomplish his goals. He really doesn't seem to have some cohesive strategy to promote social change. In this way, he's kind of like Alex Jones. He just repeatedly makes bizarre statements, but doesn't really engage in any advocacy for change. Neither of these men seem to have a plan. Just like Alex Jones, most of Andrew's efforts have been focused on taking money from his followers. Here, Andrew does appear to have a cohesive strategy, namely, take advantage of people gullible and vulnerable enough to exalt him as a revolutionary leader by convincing them to send him money. This brings me to my final item, number 6. Andrew Tate has formed a persona which may or may not reflect his actual personality. It has ranked him as the king of toxic masculinity. Andrew has tried to prove that he is the ultimate alpha male, which is a construct that may not actually even exist. In order for there to be an alpha male, there would need to be beta males. I think that Andrew is trying to offer a proof of concept by recruiting those who he would consider beta males. His followers fall into one of the categories that he denigrates. The more he insults them, the more they are attracted to him. Through his maladaptive behavior and offensive beliefs, Andrew has created a number of victims, but his own followers represent his ultimate victim group. He has exploited them for money and for free labor. In addition, he's reinforced their destructive belief system. Andrew's followers have been intent to learn from him. Perhaps his arrest can offer them an appropriate lesson. Andrew has taught them where his brand of destructive behavior leads, not to riches, fame, and glory, rather to the inside of a jail cell where there is only pain, boredom, and rumination on a life of inferior choices. That's my update on the case of Andrew Tate. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.